8th and L Street. Start saving with Liberty First Credit Union. Apply for a consolidation loan now at libertyfirstcu.com today. Approval required. Equal opportunity lender. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. On Friday in a Lincoln football rivalry matchup, Southeast edged out Southwest 28-21 for the win. Jake Applegate would score the only touchdown in the second half for the Knights to secure the win. Lincoln Lutheran won their matchup against Lincoln Christian 23-7 and took home the Spirit Sword. In other Week 2 football, Grand Island won over Lincoln Pius 28-14. Lincoln High shut out Omaha Bryan 42-0. Lincoln Northeast won against Lincoln North Star 26-24. Papillion South beat Lincoln East in a close one 32-28. In volleyball, Class A Papillion La Vista South sits at number 1 in the power rankings with a record of 7-0. Millard West is at 2 with a record of 9-1. Papillion South will have 2 games this week to defend their spot at number 1. They play Lincoln Pius on Tuesday and Elkhorn South on Thursday. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Friday. We made it, folks. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainer, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am well. How are you, good sir?
Not too bad. Just got done with good old Tom and Bach.
Yeah, you're having a long day today, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be an exciting weekend. We'll dive into that here shortly. As always, 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Both those are open for you guys all show long, as well as on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, so that you get notified every time we go live, because there's a lot of stuff happening. Obviously, this last, close to a month already of new programming's gone really, really well. We thank you guys for always tuning in, always
smooth
contributing on the stream. It's been a lot of fun, trust me. It's a lot of fun to be able to do this for you guys every single day. So some of the programming this week, just to highlight the weekend, as we do kind of every Friday here. Tonight, catch high school football with Connor Happer on the call. I believe kickoff is shortly at around 7 o'clock or so.
7.
Yep, so at 7 o'clock, make sure you're listening to 93.7 The Ticket. We'll have it on our app. We'll have it on just the normal radio as well. So make sure you tune in to Connor Happer calling a game.
And like I say every single time, if you haven't heard Happer call a game, you're missing out.
Absolutely. And so
the man is fantastic.
We'll get some highlights put together as well following the game that they'll be put out on social media. So make sure you share it with your friends as well. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. from 8 to 9, we'll have the high school show, recap everything. As always, Joe Davis from Norris will join us shortly after 8. Luke Mullen will join us as well. We'll highlight some of the basketball recruiting that's happening already in the state.
Ooh.
There's a couple baseball players that just committed, one from Lincoln East committed to UNO over the last couple days. So we'll talk about that. We'll recap Friday night action. And then, as always, live from Tipsy Tina's 2.5 hours before kickoff, we'll have our Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Then following the game, as always, Husker After Party and the Ticket postgame with DP and Jay Foreman live from Tanner's. So a lot of stuff coming your way.
Man, we are just constantly on.
Yeah, tonight.
You just
and
leave
tomorrow.
it. Just leave it on 93.7 on your dial. If you still have a dial,
yeah,
you know, your analog one, your digital one, just kind of leave it so it says 93.7. Don't touch it. There's gonna be plenty local programming. I mean, you're gonna get some Fox stuff, but plenty of local programming this weekend. We're gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, and so one other thing is that if you've been paying attention to Twitter at all this morning, Rico and I have been
under a rock.
Yeah, Rico and I have been tweeting out a little bit today about we're going to be able to give away a couple tickets to.
We're literally begging you,
yeah,
to take these tickets off of our hands
to Nebraska Buffalo tomorrow. So here's the rules: you have to follow me, Nick_Sainert on Twitter. You have to follow Rico on Twitter, Radio Rico AC, and then you have to follow the station 93.7 The Ticket on Twitter as well. Then you have to screenshot those three. We've already had 3 or 4 people do it already, so
yes, we have.
I don't want to hear any excuses. So screenshot the proof that you're following us, as well as tag 3 friends that either you think listen to the station.
Oh, I said tag 1, but if you want to tag 3, go ahead.
Tag 1 to 3, as many as you want to tag.
Tag all your friends
that you want to get listening to the station. That way,
and tweet it at us.
Yeah.
Tweet it at me, Nick, and the station. And you will be entered into the drawing to win 2 tickets to tomorrow's game, and also bring yourself water.
Holy cow. Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's going to be very hot tomorrow. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. So
again, one more time, follow Nick, follow me, follow the station, screenshot those, tweet at all 3 of us, tag 1 to 3 friends. You're entered into the giveaway for 2 tickets to tomorrow's game against Buffalo. Extremely simple.
And here's the good news, folks, is you have close to an hour to do it.
You have until 3.
We're not going to draw until the last segment, a couple minutes before we're done here, and we ship you off to one-on-one with DP. So you guys have about 50 minutes until we draw for a winner. So make sure you get those in throughout the show. As always, like I said, 402-464-5685. We'll take your calls, your concerns about Nebraska Buffalo. We'll get to some of the things Scott Frost said last night on the radio, talking about running backs and Jock Yant, as well as just some other things that he talked about. Cam Taylor-Britt still returning punts like they said earlier this week as well. So we'll dive into all that. We'll give our predictions for some college football games. But first, we have to find out who the winner of nothing was.
Who was it? Well, my friends, Don, congratulations. You just edged out a couple other people.
Yes.
Don is today's winner of nothing.
So congratulations, Don. You guys get a 2-day break from that. We'll be back at that Monday. And so exciting stuff there as well.
Oh, and Brian T is saying, if the seal is broken, the bottle is not allowed. FYI, that's the rules we enforce during that event, during the football game. So you have to have a bottle that is not open because obvious reasons.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. Are you able to reseal bottles?
I'm sure you can.
I see.
Like, I'm sure somebody's found, like, you know, you open it, maybe like you like, since it's plastic, you could like melt it closed again.
Yeah, I wonder. And then I also wonder, Brian T maybe can help us out if he is working the game. How are they checking that? I mean, not that I'm saying, I'm not encouraging that.
I mean, you're going to, like, if you have a water bottle, you can't like have it in your bag. You just kind of hold it up to them.
I guess obviously if it's half full or something, but you know what I'm saying. So
they're just going to look at it and be like, all right, it's sealed. Like, it's also like probably an honor system thing.
Yeah, I agree. So
like hey, don't sneak any alcohol into the game. It's an honor system that people break all the time.
Yeah, that's a conversation for another time. Rico,
hello.
First of all, how did you watch the game last night between Tampa Bay and Dallas?
How did I watch it? I watched it on Roku.
Well, did you watch
TV.
it? Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. I missed the first quarter.
Okay.
I caught most of the second quarter, and then I watched the rest of the game.
Okay. Yeah.
And I missed the NFL so much. Like I love college football more than the NFL, but I love watching NFL football.
Yeah, I think and I say this as a 20-year-old, as I've gotten older, I've realized that the NFL can sometimes be more enjoyable to just sit down and watch than college football. And I wouldn't put it in front of Nebraska, but I would say that the NFL sometimes, depending on who's playing, I'm not going to be interested in a Browns Washington football team.
Dude, I will watch Browns Washington football all day.
Really?
Yeah, I will watch any NFL matchup. See, that's like when it comes to college, I won't watch any matchup. Like I'll watch a couple matchups here and there, maybe a little lower division matchup, but for the most part in the NFL, I will watch anybody play.
Interesting. That's a
like
very
if you put the Jags, Sans, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jets, I'll watch it. There's going to be something.
I see. Yeah, I guess maybe this year there's a little more draw to like the Jaguars and Jets. Jets more specifically for me personally, because I'm interested to see how Zach Wilson does. I don't think he's going to do well. So maybe there's a little more draw for me there. But no, last night, Dak Prescott in his return looked great.
My goodness.
Awesome.
I was worried. Like he ran a decent amount. He threw a lot more. He almost threw 60 passes last night, which is just wild. But I mean, most of them were like little swing passes, little screens to the wide receivers. So it's not like he was hucking it down the field a lot. He was doing that a little bit, but almost 60 passes is just wild for your shoulder. Yeah. Granted, he hurt his ankle, so every time he would run, I was like,
yeah. Well, when he got tackled from behind, one time by dude just grabbed his legs and tackled him from behind, and I was like, oh man. And I just wonder like what goes through his mind when that happens. Like, oh no, like
with injuries, you always hear like the physical part of it is obviously hard. You have to recover that from that. But like the mental part of like a torn ACL or a torn Achilles or a broken ankle, broken leg, like the mental part of it is a lot harder because you have to learn to like trust it again. And then you're scared of like, somebody gets close to that injury. You're like, oh, like you get freaked out and you want to move it away real quick, and that's going to mess up the movement that you have, the natural movement and everything that got you to where you are. So the mental side of it seems to me at least that he's kind of past that right now. He was running with confidence.
He was doing just fine,
taking hits. The way he was standing in the pocket and just knowing like I'm about to take this shoulder pad straight to my gut, but I'm going to launch it up here to CD Lamb, and I know he's going to catch it.
Now, I will say with Dak, that he made a couple questionable throws. There were a couple dangerous throws that I was watching, and I'm like, you're lucky that got tipped or that he didn't pick that off. One was Levante David right in the middle I believe it was towards the end of the first half. He threw one across the middle. Levante David was just there, and Levante David either if he wouldn't have tipped it, it could have been picked, or he could have just grabbed it and it would have been fine. That was the one of them that Levante David threw his helmet off. And
Levante David, he said before the season he needs to get more interceptions. So,
well, he had opportunities last night. So, but yeah, Dak Prescott, his stats last night: 42 of 58, like Rico said, 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. On the flip side, Tom Brady
looked good.
One of those interceptions was off the hands of his running back. So
Leonard Fournette.
You don't really want to say that that's his fault necessarily.
Well, and then the other one was a Hail Mary to end the first half.
Yeah, so he finished 32 of 50, 379 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 picks. One of his receivers last night, Antonio Brown
looks good. He looks like Pittsburgh Antonio Brown.
Are you calling for Pittsburgh Antonio Brown this season?
He looks like it. He was quick off the line. He was burning people on his routes. His routes looked crisp when they showed the replays. Obviously, you can't see it because they're focused on the quarterback.
Yeah.
But when they show the replay, his routes look crisp. He looks like he knows what he's doing again. And the sideline, he's animated. He's getting in people's faces. It seems like he's ready to go. And to pair him with Chris Godwin and apparently broken Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is broken.
And then Rob Gronkowski looking like a new man.
Yeah, he's looking like New England Rob
Gronkowski. New England post or pre-back surgery,
Yes.
elbow surgery,
Yes.
half metal human Rob Gronkowski. Like, he looks thin, he looks quick. In the fourth quarter when they're making that drive, Tom Brady kind of hits him on a short route, and he goes about 10 more yards, dragging about 2 people on him. Like, this team's weapons look good.
Well, and I talked to Bach about this a little bit earlier, is right in the first segment at 11 o'clock was when Tom Brady was driving down the field in the last drive, the timing on one of his throws to Chris Godwin, he threw it 4 seconds before Chris Godwin made his cut. And the ball got there right when it was a perfect
Was that the back shoulder?
Route. It was a perfect timing route. Yeah. It was just a comebacker. And
the offensive pass interference?
Yes.
That's
what I was going to go with and this is where I want to hear your guys' thoughts, because it's same can be said for targeting, I suppose, if you want to bring that up again.
Okay. So the offensive pass interference on Chris Godwin, it definitely was.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be called in that moment if he didn't extend his arm out all the way. That's why. I
think he did.
It was partial. His arm was still bent. It wasn't, if he extends it all the way, like, that's getting flagged. But the fact the way that he did it and the corner was kind of holding on to him, it kind of looked like he's just kind of like moving his shoulder and not, and just kind of rubbing him off because the corner's all over him. He's grabbing his jersey too.
I guess it goes back to what I've said before, and I'm kind of contradicting myself, saying that when you slow something down and you look at a replay, you can find anything.
I mean, in real time, it looked like offensive pass interference. Also, it looked worse in real time than it did.
Really,
to me, it did.
Interesting,
because you see like the arm kind of a little bit push,
yeah,
and then you see the dude just fly. So in real time, I was like easy. I was like easy offensive pass interference, and then you see the replay, and it's like, it is still, but he didn't extend as much. So
yeah, and at that time, I guess at that situation in a game, maybe it's best that the ref just swallows the whistle.
Look, people always say that I want the refs involved too much.
Yeah.
It's not about the refs. That's what people say.
So we got this text on the text line earlier today, and right when we came in at 11, and it said that the refs influenced the game by not doing anything. And I'm like, listen, at one point,
look, if you're a ref, you can't win. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if they call that, all the Buccaneer fans are just like, I wasn't offensive.
Exactly.
See, okay, the thing is, the talking heads, they call offensive pass interference
yeah,
all over the big sports channels. That wasn't offensive pass interference. What even is pass interference?
Yeah.
They didn't call it. Oh, that definitely was pass interference. What even is pass interference? So you can't win either way. It's just one of those calls. But also you had one of the referees kind of get caught on a hot mic.
Really?
In the game where it was on the intranets. You can hear one of the referees go up to the head ref, and you hear him say, let's just say that and then he like turned the mic off real quick.
Oh, I did not hear that. I was
like,
also
let's just say that
so I wasn't listening to the game necessarily.
Now I don't know what the call was after that, but just hearing that with no context sounds bad. It could have been, something that actually happened, and they're like, okay, it could be unnecessary roughness or illegal hands to the face or something, and they just decided, like, let's just call it this one.
Oh, interesting. Dustin says on the text line 402-464-5685, Dustin says, ref always controls the game when Tom Brady is involved. Well, he says TB. I'm guessing that means Tom
Brady. Look, the refs never controlled the game when Tom Brady was in New England, but in Tampa, they definitely control the game for him. The referees are his best friend.
So
in New England, they never were. That I don't know what you're talking about.
So, yeah, some of the other bright spots from yesterday's game, Amari Cooper, 13 catches, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb is starting to come out of his shell. He could be exciting.
CeeDee Lamb is so much fun to watch when he gets the ball. They were talking about how he doesn't – Chris Collinsworth, who – my goodness, I love
his slide.
I love listening to Chris Collinsworth.
I love Chris Collinsworth's slide in.
Chris Collinsworth could call any sporting event, and I'm there. But he was talking about how CeeDee Lamb's routes aren't quite that crisp yet. Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners in football, which we all know.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's routes aren't quite there, but once he gets the ball in his hand, he is a menace. Like some of the plays, he gets it, and you're like, oh, he's going to be down here. And he just jukes dude out of his shoes, gets like 5 more yards, and he's so fast. And it's fantastic to watch him. Dak Prescott is a lucky man to have CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper on his team.
There are a lot of weapons on that offense.
I don't know who number 1 is for the Cowboys, a receiver.
Like you even
But
have
he
Michael
was
Gallup,
everywhere.
who as a number 3 receiver is not bad at all.
Michael Gallup would be a number 2 receiver on many other teams.
Exactly, and so that goes
Can't say
into
number
this,
1 because I don't think he would.
neither do I. That goes into this conversation. Is Ezekiel Elliott bad?
I think Tampa Bay's rush defense is just really good.
Really, because last year,
Tony Pollard couldn't get anything.
I'm not saying Tony Pollard's good. I think that when you're looking at Zeke, he had all those fumbling problems last year. He backs it up with 11 carries, 33 yards. He didn't play in the middle of the game. He didn't play a ton.
Mm-hmm.
They were giving a lot of the carries to Tony Pollard. I'm just saying, is it time to close the book on Zeke Elliott being a top 5 running back in the league?
Top 5,
He's not anymore.
yes,
He's not
but
anymore.
a top running back in the league. I'd still keep him top 10.
Interesting.
Like if you were to tell me right now that you're going to trade Zeke Elliott to the Patriots, I'm all in. Give me Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, because you would rather obviously you'd rather have Zeke than Damian Harris.
I'm sure at least half the teams in the league would rather have Zeke than their current running back.
If you were Cincinnati and you had Joe Mixon, would you trade Joe Mixon for Zeke?
I guess you got me there. Maybe. I think I might. Granted, Joe Mixon, isn't he coming off a 1,000-yard season? I know Zeke did not have 1,000 yards last year.
I just know it seems like in this offense, it seems like the Cowboys, Zeke isn't working right now.
Again, I just think they went away from the run. I think Tampa Bay's rush defense, I think Tampa Bay's rush defense is just that good, which is why Dak Prescott almost threw the ball 60 times last night.
Continue that.
If you can't run the ball, just give it to Dak and get it to Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup and feed Zeke every once in a while. Yeah, but I just think that rush defense is that good. And the Cowboys' offensive line isn't as good as it once was.
It was holding up pretty decent on pass blocking.
It's not like he's gonna, have the same type of year that he had when he first got in the league, when it was just like, oh my gosh, Ezekiel Elliott is the best running back in football. That's not going to happen with this offensive line.
Here's an interesting one from the text line. They ask Najee Harris. I love Najee Harris. I'm super excited to see what he does in Pittsburgh. Would you trade Najee for Zeke? Being unproven.
Yes.
Really?
I would.
I think Najee Harris in Dallas would be exciting. That would be cool. I mean, it would never happen.
I don't think Zeke is a Pittsburgh running back. I think Najee Harris is perfect for Pittsburgh, but I would still trade him.
Interesting. Okay. So Cubsker asked Najee Harris. Yeah, Chris Collinsworth's son does sound like him. If you have not heard Chris Collinsworth's son.
Does he?
He sounds
Chris
exactly
Collinsworth has
like
a son?
Yeah, and he's a not sideline reporter, but he's like a post-game reporter for NBC as well.
Huh.
And so because I remember...
Oh, did he work a game with him last year?
I think so.
Or a couple games? I think I remember seeing him. He looks kind of like it. Well, I mean, he's his son, but
yeah,
he looks pretty close.
Yeah, so he does kind of sound like him. There was something else I wanted to... Oh, yeah, this is like the perfect start to the NFL season.
This is exactly what they wanted.
You can't draw up anything better than Dak coming back from a pretty gruesome injury. It was heartbreaking because he was throwing the ball around the yard last year when he got hurt.
Just continues.
Yes, and it doesn't stop. And for him to bounce back and come back the way he did last night, that's awesome for the NFL and just for as the first game of the season. Because if this game would have happened Sunday at a 3:25 slot,
it'd have been buried.
People would have noticed, but then be like, it's fine.
You got other games. See, it's perfect though because, like you said, you've got Dak coming back. You've got him putting up monster numbers. And you've got Tom Brady Tom Brady is struggling in the first half. Mm-hmm. They're up, but he has 2 interceptions. What's going to happen? Yeah. And then he gets the ball with a minute and a half left and leads a drive to win the game. It's everything you want in a football game. Well, everything that you expect in an NFL football game. Great play by one side, and you gave Tom Brady too much time. Here's what happens.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool how Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth said it too, because after Zuerlein hit that last field goal, they're like, now remember who you're giving the football to for the last drive, and this is plenty of time.
Too much
and
time.
Then it was bam, a short pass to Gronk that got out of bounds. Then it was the pass up the middle to Gronk,
in where he dragged 3 people.
Yeah, exactly, which we hadn't seen in a while, which was a flashback. And then it was the perfect timing route. And, you sprinkle in a couple just smart plays of just throwing the ball away to waste some time. And
I hated that. I hated that so much.
That's crazy. Somebody on the text line says, if Zeke was a better receiver, Dallas's offense would be nuts. Yeah, they tried to get him involved. I don't want to get that.
But Tony Pollard is there for.
Exactly. I don't want to get that, twisted or anything. Like, I think Zeke has the opportunity to be good. It's just something needs to change, whether that's is receiving or just being a better receiving back. Because it seems like Dallas needs to go with a more of a pass heavy offense.
Pass heavy and sprinkle in the run, not run heavy and sprinkle in the pass.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they were necessarily like that before, but
that's what they were. Dak's first 2 years, where they were just it was handed off to Zeke all the time, and then use Dak's legs and his arm every once in a while.
Yeah,
but we're gonna use Zeke. He's gonna get all the carries. He's gonna get most of the yards and the touchdowns and everything, and we're gonna use the run to set up the pass, use the run to set up the quarterback run. And now Dak is coming into his own, and Zeke is getting worse.
Yeah, which is interesting because his first couple years in the league, I mean, obviously he kind of stormed on the scene at Ohio State and then got drafted and he's, he was doing really, really well his first couple years. But then last year, it just really went downhill when he started fumbling and the ball security was just a major issue and stuff like that. And
maybe Zeke's got
one
the
game. Through one game, yeah, it doesn't look like. And maybe that could change. He could go out next week and rack up 150.
So glad I didn't draft Zeke in the first round.
I had the opportunity.
Same.
I took Josh Jacobs.
Derrick Henry.
Better choice for you. I want to get to this off the text line. We got this a little earlier, quite a bit earlier, before we take a break. I want to put a bow on this conversation here once and for all. When we were talking about the water bottles and everything, talking about Nebraska football.
I saw that one.
Don on the text line, today's winner of nothing, says Nick's okay with trying to reseal bottles, yet Taco Bell sauce packet reuse is out of the question. Listen, it's the idea that a place like Taco Bell is trying to reuse stuff. Like the idea that a place that is not very sanitary to begin with. And this is coming from somebody that enjoys Taco Bell.
They pass health inspections.
Maybe.
So they're sanitary.
Maybe.
You got to stop ragging on Taco Bell, man.
I'm not ragging. If they
are.
I like Taco Bell. You got
to leave Taco Bell alone.
All I'm saying is that
they're just trying to save the environment, and you're just like, no, I don't care about the planet. Kill it with your hot sauce packets.
I just wanted to put a bow on that conversation and say it's not the idea that I'm against. It's the idea of a place like Taco Bell attempting something like that. So
it's the fact that you're trying.
No,
that's what Nick doesn't like. It's not that I'm against you. It's that I'm against the fact that you're trying.
It's against the idea that just reusing sauce. I understand how recycling works. I don't need these long lists. I got these already on Tom and Bach. I don't need this long list of how Nick doesn't know how recycling works or anything like that. I understand how it works. And whenever I drink pop or I drink a water bottle, I understand that it's recycled more than likely. But listen, it's just the idea that when I open up a Taco Bell sauce packet, that it might have been reused. So.
It's not that the sauce packet is they're going to take the sauce packet and they're going to mess them all up, and then they're just going to turn them into new sauce packets.
I get that, and I understand that
the sauce packet you use right now might be the same thing. Your sauce packet right now could have been recycled,
but I didn't know about it. I did not know about it.
But your bottles are being recycled.
That's a very good point, Rico. But I just wanted to wrap up that conversation, be done with that, move on. And when we come back on here on the happy hour, we will dive into some of the stuff Scott Frost said today. We will talk about the running back situation for Nebraska, and then just lay out our final thoughts as we get you ready for Nebraska and Buffalo. 402-464-5685. More up next on the happy hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Early break with Sip and Jake.
Did you guys know that Creighton's never beaten Nebraska in volleyball?
They thought this is their best chance to beat Nebraska because Nebraska won in 5 sets against UNO last week. Oh, you got to be beatable today, right? No.
Mocking tones.
Yeah, it was mocking tones. That's right.
Mocking tones.
Creighton thinks they're all high and mighty. They can come in and beat Nebraska in their own area, and they got a taste of reality is what they got.
That's 20 straight that Nebraska has beaten Creighton.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Your KFXL Fox Nebraska weather. A hot day expected for Friday with high of 92 along with lots of sunshine. We'll see clear skies into Friday night with a low in the mid-60s. Temperatures climb even more for Saturday with a high of 98 along with lots of sunshine and breezy conditions. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah!
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation and offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Welcome to today's episode of The Great Unknowns. Last time, we talked about why chickens can't just cross the road in peace. Today's topic is the great unknowns of the future. Like, am I ready for what life throws at me? Well, that answer is easy. Just call a local State Farm agent. State Farm agents will help you plan for the what-ifs in life so you know what to expect if the unexpected happens. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
Where will you go next? The Southeast Community College Fall 2021 Continuing Education schedule of classes is arriving in your mailbox. Take a class in leadership and professional development, like real estate license prep, business courses like accounting and financials, or building a business plan, or 19 pages of personal interest classes like dog grooming, making jewelry, or even charcuterie. The entire schedule is online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC. Your path to possible.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainer, Enrique Alvarez Clary with you on a Friday. Once again, another reminder, if you're just now joining us, we are giving away a pair of Husker football tickets against Buffalo for tomorrow's game. Shortly before we get out of here in about 20 minutes or so. Here are the rules. Here's what you got to do. You have to follow me. You have to follow Rico. Our 2 Twitter handles should be on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream. So if you're not there, go look there, or you can just go on to 93.7 The Ticket and keep scrolling until you find us because we're on there. And then you also have to make sure you're following 93.7 The Ticket on Twitter. So following 3 people, then basically you just screenshot that. Then you will tag one of your friends to listen to the station, or even if they are listening, just tag somebody, get our name out there, and then you'll be entered into the drawing for tickets. And so each time my phone buzzes, it's somebody entering. So make sure.
I mean, we've only got 2. I don't know what you guys are doing. Do you guys not want to go to the game? Like, is that what it is? Like, you guys don't want to go to the Buffalo game? Is it going to be too hot for you? Is it going to be too hot? You don't want to be part of the sellout? You know, you don't want to watch Nebraska beat Buffalo by 3 touchdowns. You know, you don't want to be there when Adrian Martinez throws like 4 touchdowns in a game. When Jacques Yant runs over a gigantic pile of people. You don't want to be there when Savion Morrison puts somebody in a blender. You don't want to be there when Omar Manning mosses somebody. When Samori Toure hurdles somebody. You don't want to be there. Austin Allen one-handed snag falling backwards, OBJ style. Y'all don't want to be there for that? Okay.
Listen, and
we only got 2 people who want to be there. That's fine. That's fine.
And if you're smoking meat or something that you can't leave, dude, just bring that on my way. Like, I got nothing to do during the game tomorrow, so it'll be in good hands.
But it's fine.
Faisal 5 times.
Whatever, dude.
402-464-5685. That sounds like work. I'll just watch on TV. Man.
Wow.
You're lost. You're lost,
wow.
Faisal.
More like Faisal, fake Husker fan. Ha! Gotcha.
Okay. So you guys know what you need to do if you want to enter to get an opportunity at winning some Husker football tickets.
Follow Nick, follow me, follow the station, screenshot, tweet at all 3 of us, tag a friend.
Yeah. So pretty simple stuff. All right, let's move on here. Scott Frost talked yesterday, last night on a radio show to just kind of preview and get everybody caught up what's going on down there. And here's the deal. He said something about the running backs that kind of caught me off guard. Not necessarily off guard, I should say, but it's just different from what we've been hearing.
Do we have that in here?
We don't have the clip, the audio.
Okay. Oh, was that on Husker?
Yes.
Oh, well, man, yeah.
So one thing that kind of stuck out to me, he said Marquise Stepp has not won the running back job. Now, earlier on Tom and Bach, we had Aaron Sorensen from Hail Varsity on, which big news, folks.
Shout out Aaron Sorensen.
Every Wednesday at 2:30 here on the Happy Hour, we will have Aaron Sorensen. She'll be a recurring guest for the Happy Hour every Wednesday at 2:30. And so be looking forward to that starting next Wednesday. However,
going to be blessed with some knowledge on Wednesdays.
Yeah, today on Tom and Bach, Bach and I talked to Aaron Sorensen. And I actually asked her about this because in the offseason, we were told, we're going to try to, establish an identity of running the ball and everything like that. However, last night, it kind of went backwards, and Scott Frost said that nobody's won the job. Number one, because he feels like the competition is there, so people are elevating their game. Number two, he just says that he specifically said Marquise Stepp has not won the job. So I asked Aaron Sorensen about this earlier today, and here's what she had to say. Aaron, I want to stick with the running backs for a second. Scott Frost mentioned last night, I believe, that they're sticking with like the by committee approach. What are your thoughts on that? Since, in terms of yardage, Marquise Stepp has been the leader so far through 2 games. What's your thought on the staff still taking a by committee approach?
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising, mostly because we had heard going into the season through fall camp that Nebraska wanted to find that bell cow, wanted to find that person that could be the person they rely on. And so to sort of have it in this committee approach doesn't feel like what we were told. So part of me wonders if this is just not what he's saying and, we're not going to see more of Stepp right away. It's always hard to know because we obviously received a depth chart on Monday, and that depth chart was the same depth chart given to us on Saturday. There were no differences or changes. There were players on it that are injured. So you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. And I hope at least that's the case here because Stepp really made a case for himself. He was great against Fordham. Now, Fordham is a different team than Buffalo, I understand, but I just don't see why you don't give a guy like that the ball more. So I guess we'll see what happens. But for a coach and coaches that told us all fall camp, we want to find that one person. Maybe they're still trying to sort that out through these non-conference opponents, but at some point they're going to have to determine, is it going to go toward a committee approach all season, or are they going to start allowing that depth chart to settle itself out?
So there is Erin Sorensen of Hail Varsity kind of talking about Scott Frost and how they're still going with the by committee approach. She said take it with a grain of salt right now, but it is kind of interesting just because we were told the complete opposite going into this season. So I guess let's go with the thought that they are going to stay with the committee. And this is Scott Frost's exact quote, word for word last night. He says, quote, "They've all stepped their game up, and I think part of that is due to the competition there. We're going to keep with the hot hand and the guy that practices the best. I think it's going to be a week-to-week thing until somebody establishes himself." Now, taking out that last sentence about establishing himself, because that part's a little alarming, I suppose. But if that's the case, then I guess if there's the competition there, then it's a good sign. In recent years, Nebraska has kind of been starving for a position group on the offensive side of the ball to really have a battle, I guess. And like guys that want to compete from top to bottom. And you kind of feel confident about that guys want to compete in that running back room, whether it's Marquise Stepp, whether it's Sevion, whether it's Gabe Irvin, or you can even throw Yant into that mix, I guess. But I guess, and you can say that they've had him for the defensive side of the ball where I mean, secondary is the number one position group that comes to my mind. Defensive line can be thrown in there as well. But on the offensive side of the ball, running backs, I mean, I just think that Nebraska's been longing for a position group on the offensive side of the ball to be so deep that it's in true competition battle. And I guess if that's the case where, they're going to go with a week-to-week approach and whoever has the hot hand, because neither one of them or none of them are taking the job, then at some point, I guess that can be a good thing. But on the flip side, it also is kind of alarming because nobody's taking that job.
It's kind of weird how now I don't remember the exact quote. Maybe he was just talking about the first game, but I remember before Illinois, Matt Lubick was asked about the running back battle, and he said, "We know who the starter is. We're just not going to tell you." That's not the exact quote.
Yeah, it was something like
that. But that's pretty much, he was like, "Yeah, we know who it is, but we're not going to tell you." I don't know if that was just for the Illinois game and they were talking about the starter for the first game, or talking about the starter for the entire season. Because if he was talking about the entire season, then Scott Frost saying that they still don't know who their number one guy is kind of contradicts what his offensive coordinator is saying. I'm sure they're all working together. They know exactly, what they want to do and how they want to go about it. But it just seems like, in the Illinois game, no idea who, because you didn't run the ball with a running back. So there's no idea who was going to do well there. But against Fordham, I know, lowly Fordham, Marquise Stepp stepped up. And he was the bell cow. You kept handing it off to him. He had over 100 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns, but he had over 100 yards, and he was running with purpose. He was running he was running between the tackles. He's running the outside. He's running through people, running around people. He was doing everything you wanted to do, running downhill. One cut and get downhill, which is what you want out of your running backs if that's what you truly want, which is what you were saying before the season started. You wanted to establish yourself as a downhill running team and work from there. Marquise Stepp seems, through one game, to be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not in practice. I don't know what's going on. But to have that competition still open after that kind of showing from Marquise Stepp isn't really alarming. It's just surprising to me. Like, I understand because you had Savion Morrison score 2 touchdowns. They were 2 short yardage touchdowns. You had, I think Marvin Scott had a touchdown, but he wasn't really in the discussion. Gabe Irvin, I don't remember much from him in the Fordham game. I know he had a couple carries. I know he had some carries and he looked okay. But to me, Savion Morrison and Marquise Stepp looked like the 2 best, and Marquise Stepp looked like the dude that should be handling most of the carries for this Nebraska football team.
Well, and he has the most experience at a college level. And being at USC, and part of that was durability and stuff. And so it's just going to be interesting that through a couple games, it really feels like Marquise Stepp, from a fan's perspective, has taken that position over. But supposedly inside, they don't feel the same. Real quickly here before we take our final timeout, Jock Yant was also brought up last night.
Big boy was running hard.
My man Jock Yant.
He was running through people backwards.
Yeah, if you were listening to the first pregame show against Illinois, I am Jock Yant. So Frost was asked about him, and he said this, quote, "We're trying to have the big fella be not quite as big. He's done a good job with that, and he's definitely got a bright future, and I think he can be a weapon if he's in shape, and we'll keep bringing him along." End quote. Rico, I know your thoughts on this, but I want to get this out real quick. Why? Like, okay, here's my thought on everything here. And I guess, why make him smaller? Or maybe if he just needs to get in shape. That was at 6'2", 245, maybe it's just a thing of getting in shape and being able to use his body like that. But there's a little bit of concern there when this staff really hasn't managed weight all that great in the past. First name you think of is Adrian Martinez, right? Obviously,
they said he was too small. Yep. You needed to bulk him up so he could handle the punishment of running against Big Ten defenses. It seemed like he got too big and he got slower. Then he trimmed down, and I don't know what's going on. And now he lost weight but kept the bulk.
He looks good this year. Yeah, this year Adrian's doing well.
And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, trim him down and you shouldn't get him in shape.
Yeah.
But he looks good. He's running good. I mean, okay, for the short amount of time that we've seen him, he's running good. I know, there's still football shape he probably needs to get into, football shape that a lot of people still need to get into, because, you can only practice so much, but once you actually get into a game, it's totally different. You're going to be gassed in a different sort of way. Yeah. So still trying to get into football shape. But I think if he runs good, if he handles everything the way that he's supposed to, I don't think you need to trim him down. But getting into shape, I understand.
Well, and this is all I was going to say, and we can carry this into the next segment here. But Yant's a big fella. He runs over guys. He gives you the ability to line up on 3rd and goal and run right up the middle with a guy that's not named Adrian Martinez. Maybe it's okay that the opponent knows what you're going to do when you bring out number 0. Maybe it's okay. It's called an identity. Everybody knew Illinois was going to run the football.
It's like those plays that NFL teams run. Or no, it was the 18-wheeler package for Texas a couple of years ago, where they would bring in the big body quarterback, and they would have everybody on the line, and they would bring a tight end across, and he would start, doing his little tippy-tap-toe thing right in between the guard and the center, and you're like, this is exactly where the ball is going to go, but we're going to hand it off to this guy, and you're not going to stop him.
And line up and do what you are confident in, that and what works. And who cares if the defense knows what you're running in certain situations, like a goal line situation. I almost guarantee Husker fans would not be mad if they lined up from the 1-yard line, ran it twice up the middle with Jock Yant, and then you can either run it a third time or you can throw a play-action play in there.
Nah, just keep running.
Besides,
you got a big boy.
Even if you do run the ball 3 times, the odds are that the defense, hopefully you get a good enough push from your offensive line that hopefully a 6'2", 245-pound back can
get the ball across,
barrel roll into the end zone.
It's like last year, me and Happer noticed, and I'm sure many other people noticed. Whenever the offense lined up, empty back, Adrian Martinez in the shotgun 5 wide, he's going to run it. He's not going to pass it.
Exactly. So a couple things there from Scott Frost. When we come back, we'll take one final timeout. We'll give away the tickets, and we'll make our predictions for Huskers Buffalo next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation. It offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Where will you go next? The Southeast Community College Fall 2021 Continuing Education schedule of classes is arriving in your mailbox. Take a class in leadership and professional development, like real estate license prep, business courses like accounting and financials, or building a business plan, or 19 pages of personal interest classes like dog grooming, making jewelry, or even charcuterie. The entire schedule is online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC. Your path to possible.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to the TicketFM.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Security First Bank. We're the bank, and we make your mortgage more manageable with flexible terms, trusted advice, and competitive rates. When you work with us, we'll know your name, but we'll also get to know your home dreams too. Security First Bank of Lincoln. Voted best small bank in Nebraska by Newsweek magazine. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 505011.
Youth ice hockey registration is open now. New for 2021, the Lincoln Ice Hockey Association is offering 8 and under hockey for $75 with all equipment provided. No experience is needed, and the first 8-week season starts in mid-October. To register or for more information, go to lincolnhockey.org. $75 youth hockey with all equipment provided at lincolnhockey.org.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. The Buffalo Bulls will come into Lincoln fresh off a 69-7 win a week ago against Wagner. And as head coach Scott Frost zones in on tomorrow's matchup, he knows his team has their work cut out for him.
I think their quarterback's really good. They got a really good running back, got a transfer receiver. They're pretty solid everywhere on offense. They really run and hit on defense. Again, we only have one game tape to go on, but again, they look great in that first game. So our guys are prepped for a battle.
Something else Frost would like to see this week is better blocking downfield, especially by his receivers, which could free up some bigger runs.
Yeah, mark of a good team is when receivers are really blocking downfield. Thought we could have been better than we were last Saturday. Some of that was just kind of confusion of assignments with some of the new stuff we have in, but that's something that we're continually working on.
Kickoff for Saturday's game is at 2:30, and it can be seen on the Big Ten Network. The Huskers are about a 2-touchdown favorite. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back here one final time on the happy hour. And before the show, I was telling Rico, next week on the 16th, that'll mark 1 month of the happy hour. It's unbelievable. It's awesome.
1 month of industry, baby.
Yeah, shout out industry, baby. Once again, join Happer on the call of Elkhorn and Waverly. I believe Waverly's debuting a new field tonight.
Ooh.
Turf. I am told.
Look at Waverly.
So Waverly pulling out all the stops. All right,
Shout out
Rico,
Waverly.
I know you have all of our people that have given or put in their stuff. Thank you very much. There will be more opportunities. I believe this is something that's going to happen quite often.
Decent amount.
So seriously, just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. And so while Rico's doing that, a couple more notes here. He'll give me the signal when he's good. Oliver Martin, we talked about him yesterday. He is actually going to be available to play this week, so he is all good. They sat him out for his minor injury against Fordham. He is active against Buffalo. Once again, like I said, high school game tonight. Pre-game show tomorrow starts at 12. However, before that at 8 a.m., high school Saturday with myself. So, all right, Rico, do you have our winner?
Winner, chicken dinner.
Who is receiving a pair of Buffalo tickets?
Mike the Deliverer.
Ooh.
Shout out to Mike for winning the 2 Husker tickets for tomorrow's game against Buffalo. We will have them at the pregame show. We'll take them to the pregame show.
Perfect. Maybe, or I guess maybe if you want to stop by, you can always stop by.
Or if you want to stop by today.
Until 5 p.m.
5 p.m.? All right. Till 5 p.m. You could stop by Mike and pick up your tickets, or you can stop by the pregame show tomorrow and get your tickets.
Yes. So congratulations. The way that we did it, we put everybody's name that entered onto a wheel. You spin the wheel, and whoever it lands on. So it was completely random. It was all good. So congratulations to Mike. Like I said, there will be opportunities to win big prizes, whether it's autographed jerseys, whether it's tickets, all season long. So make sure you keep your dial right here to 93.7 The Ticket. Coming up next on One-on-One with DP, he is going to be interviewing, I believe, somebody from the ROTC program down at UNL, talking about just 9/11, because don't forget, tomorrow Huskers also wearing alternate jerseys to remember all those as well.
20th anniversary.
Yes. And so interesting, cool little story there. So make sure you don't go anywhere right at 3 p.m.
He will have Captain Mark LeCamp. I feel really bad if I'm saying his name wrong. USN Commanding Officer, Nebraska, NROTC. That is who he will have on for One-on-One.
So make sure you tune in there right after we're done here. If you missed any of the Aaron Sorensen interview from Tom and Bach earlier today, make sure you tune into theticketfm.com. It'll be podcasted here shortly. But last but certainly not least, before we conclude our Friday, Rico, what is your outlook for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I've said it once, I say it again. I believe Nebraska will win by a 3-touchdown margin.
Okay.
I think their pass defense is going to shut down Buffalo, and they will force them to run. Unfortunately, Buffalo is really good at running. So the rush defense is going to have to be on their P's and Q's.
Mm-hmm.
I think they give up a decent amount of yards and maybe a couple touchdowns, but I think they win by 3 touchdowns, a nice little 21-point spread there.
That makes me nervous saying that they're going to win big as well since you did it, but we're going to stick with it. I'm excited to see what kind of blocking out on the perimeter, see like triple option stuff with Nebraska. See if they incorporate that or continue to incorporate that, because that's been successful these last couple games. Also, I hope that somebody in the running back room emerges and they stick with him.
I'm excited to see Samori Toure and Oliver Martin.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on the field together for Illinois, but I'm excited to see that after, Oliver was the leading receiver against Illinois, Samori obviously against Fordham. I'm excited to see those two together on the field.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. One-on-one is next. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Also, enjoy week 1 of NFL. It's going to be a blast. Sit on the couch, enjoy your Sunday ticket.
Watch Mac Jones win.
We'll see about that. Good luck for all the fantasy football players, and go Nebraska. We'll talk to you guys tonight with Happer and tomorrow morning with the high school show. Have a good weekend.
Adios.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln.